first started playing basketball when I was around 11. That's when I first seriously started playing on the basketball team and everything. But I first picked up and like started liking the game when I was around 6 years old. Wasn't that good yet. Just throwing the ball at the basket, not really hitting it that much. Basketball has been a tremendous influence on my life. It kept me on the straight and narrow path. It kept me from getting in trouble. I knew that if I would get in trouble, that basketball would be taken away from me pretty easily. So I tried my best to do well in other areas of my life.
David gets his abilities from probably from both sides, mom and dad. And when I first met mom, she looked slim and athletically inclined, so that was part of my reason why I went after her. But his abilities probably mostly came from me. I always kept him in the gym. I was the athlete of the family, and so he probably got it mostly from me. I don't know if it was hereditary as far as much as being taught how to be an athlete.
I chose to be an athlete. I mean, I knew my dad played sports, so that's a reason I got into sports. My sister was into sports, and I mean, they let me try. They let me sign up for any sport I wanted to, except for boxing. I'm glad they didn't let me do that. This year I caught up a little bit. I'm at a 2.5 in the GPA. I'm trying to get it up to a 3.0 in the next 2 years or higher.
I stressed education all the time. That was so much part of being an athlete. You can't be an athlete in school without being a good student. So my wife and I, we always stressed education. And he struggled with it for a while, but he finally picked it up, especially when my daughter went to college. And we took him down there with her to get some exposure. And he saw that in order to get to that level, he had to study. So we definitely stressed it in this household.
In high school, my grades, they fluctuated. They were up and down throughout, but I ended up being able to graduate with a 2.1 overall, but I got a really high SAT because taking tests was pretty easy. That's how I stayed afloat, pretty much. In high school, I didn't really take education too seriously, but when I actually got to college, I just wish that I could have went back and like did everything over again. Because thinking back, high school was pretty easy, and I could have did much better than what I did.
Yeah, we've always discussed secondary education. Matter of fact, that was the goal. The goal was always to, use sports as a vehicle to get a secondary education, to go to college, earn a degree, and that's something that vitally important, that we held vitally important in this household. So it was definitely objective.
In the locker room, I was a cool, collected guy. I was a clown, and I would be the team leader.
Dave went to Wild. I just know Dave just through basketball. Like Dave had, he did well in high school, so you kind of knew of him. Then in the basketball travel team, like in the AAU circuit, you always see him or whatever because he's from the area. So I mean, you would see him and see him play and stuff like that. So we was kind of connected from there. But this year was my first time actually really being involved, seeing him every day, seeing who he is and all that type of stuff. So this year was the year me and Dave really got close or whatever. Dave's best qualities is his IQ, because he's coming from a Division I school, and that's what he brought to the table to this team. Coming from a D1, which is one of the highest levels you can play at, and coming down here, his IQ, he already brought down IQ or whatever. I also believe that his offensive game, the numbers show that he was a top scorer in the league and on our team. Him and Josiah was the top 2 scorers, so he definitely brought scoring to our team, and he led us really well with that.
David Golladay's performance was phenomenal for us this year. He came in as a former Division I starter, and his experience was key for us. He started every game for us this season. as well as he started every game for Mount St. Mary's, which was a Division I school. So his experience, his level of, I'll say experience and strength is what really carried us to the top this year into a championship.
Dave is a character, man. He's a funny guy, man. Like he's always had a smile on his face. Even before games, man. He lightens you up. He's energetic, you know. So it's like he gets you in a fine, like not to be too focused, but like not too out of shape or whatever. Like he's a character, man. So he's always having laughs and smiles and stuff like that going on with him. I mean, anyone can tell you, just not me, that David is a character, man. He's a fun guy to be around, and definitely bringing what he brought from Mount St. Mary's definitely helped us a lot because he showed us how it is on that level. He showed us what to expect, and he brought his knowledge to this, and I think that's a key reason to why we did well this year. I mean, me and Dave push each other a lot. It would been times in practice that me and Dave, it was one instance in practice that me and Dave got into it like verbally, and that's part of practice. We were basketball players, so me and him got into it. He told me he got on my case. He got on me hard. Like he was yelling at me, we exchanged words, stuff like that. And when he did that, it kind of brought the best out of me, and he can tell you for himself. When he did that, I started killing practice. I was just like dunking everything, like, you know, catching every pass, finishing at the rim, blocking every shot. He brought a spark out of me by just that little argument that we had. And that's what he do, you know what I mean? He wants the best out of everyone, you know what I'm saying? So it's a couple instances like that, but he just wants everyone to do well, and that's what he did for me.
So David's chances are really good. David is strong, he's athletic, he runs the floor well. His mid-range game, when I say mid-range game, I mean within three-point line to the basket, is second to none. Nice touch on the ball, and of course, when you say next level, that's, you know, overseas, NBA, or any other professional level. Sky's the limit. I don't know what that's going to. If he continues to work hard like he's doing it, the chances are, you know, we could see him playing in a professional league.
My most memorable moment at PG is when we won the Region 20 championship. I mean, it's nothing like winning the championship, so of course that one's going to stick out more than anything else. I felt accomplished. I felt very accomplished because that was one of the goals I actually wrote down on a piece of paper at the beginning of the year, saying I wanted to win a Region 20 championship. Like, I actually wrote that down.
The most memorable moments for me was obviously playing at the Verizon Center. That was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for our student athletes. And to be in that facility and see how the pros play, and I think that was probably the most memorable for me. And then, of course, watching our guys cut down the net after winning the region championship was quite memorable.
Playing at the Verizon Center this year at PG, it was a good experience. For some of the guys, it was the first time. Others played there multiple times before. But we were all excited to see the NBA guys because that's somewhere we all would like to be someday, either there, overseas. We just want to all be pros someday. So it was a pretty good experience.
The most memorable game for David that I recall is the state championship. It was really funny because I didn't think the team was that good, and David would constantly say, "Dad, we're going to the States. We're going to the States." And I'm like, this team is not going to make it to the States. But eventually, the team made it to the state championship. They lost by a little bit, but they played a great game. So it was very memorable for myself and my wife.
No academic awards yet, but I plan to become an academic All-American one day. Like, I really want that to happen. But as far as basketball, high school, I was an MVP of my team. I made All-Met honorable mention. I made the Capital Classic. LeBron James played in that game. Just to let you know that. I mean, I ain't LeBron James, but shoot, he was in the game. I made Region Team 20 for PG and conference team and all-star game. For high school athletes, my advice to you is do your best you can, do the best you can in school. Get the best grades you can. Try to hang with a good crowd that's not going to pull you down, get you in trouble, and just try to stay on a good path where you're not going to get in any trouble outside of school, and just try your hardest and give it your all.
As a pastor and a parent, I would like to state that if you play basketball, take it seriously. Remember that grades are very important. Without the grades, you can't play basketball. You know, be a good student, be a good person, so that you can contribute to the community. And it's so much more after that. Basketball is only for a little while. So remember that when the days are over of playing basketball, you can go into something else professionally. You know, communications, journalism, whatever, you know, you desire to do. Some might want to be a doctor. Some might want to be a pastor like myself. So there's life after basketball. So stay focused, work hard, study hard.
Well, the advice I would give youngsters who are watching now and they want to play college basketball, I have a son that's 11 years old, and I tell him, you have to work hard on the right skills. So you can have some guys that are in the gym 4 hours working on the wrong things, and then you have a kid that's working on the right things for 30 minutes. He's going to be better than the kids that's working on the wrong things for 4 hours. So I want them to always work on the proper techniques of the game that'll prepare them for the future.
Well, our number one job is to help our student athletes get an education. That's our number one priority here. We meet with our student athletes prior to the semester starting. We explain to them that we are committed to academics first, athletics second. We go over what our policies and procedures are. We do a mandatory study hall for all of our student athletes. They must attend 5 hours a week or they're not allowed to play the following week. We do early alerts with our faculty members, and our students know that that is our priority.
Coach Joyner, when it comes to grades, he's pretty tough on us, always texting us, get your study hall hours in. I mean, texting us a lot, way too much for my liking, but I mean, we had to get it done. He stayed on top of us. It's going to do us well because we all going to graduate.
So my expectations for our players is our team motto is dedication plus discipline equals success. And so I ask our guys every year, even when I'm recruiting, I ask guys, do they know anyone who's dedicated and disciplined that's not successful? And the answer generally comes back, no. So I tell them I'm going to demand those guys to be dedicated and disciplined, and then in turn we'll be successful if they produce those results.
I would say to any Prince George's County athlete that Prince George's Community College is the right choice and that they should give our coaches a chance. And if they come here, we will help them focus on their academics. We will help them move on to a four-year college if that's what they choose to do. And they should do it early. We should be their first choice, not their last choice. Come, fill out your application, get started, and if for some reason that four-year scholarship comes along, then you can always take it and go on. But if you don't get in early, then you're behind the curve. So it's better to get here early and let us help you get on your right path.